Okay, I'm back from lunch. Continuing with shooting here, I've replaced the skirmishers on the English side with purple to make it easier to see what's going on. Interestingly, with skirmishers in this game, they break just about when anything. So Lightfoot breaks when approached by just about anything except Light Horse. But when you break, you scatter, and you can reconstitute if you rally, as when we were going through the rules. So they can still get in the way and muck up the works with cavalry charges. It's just that the battlefield will be much more chaotic. Anyway, we're not there yet. We'll see what happens potentially. I'm going to take this shot first. These guys were stationary. These skirmishers were shooting at this block of skirmishers. I'm giving them one shot. They did a 5. Let's see if they actually get to go first, though. Do the French, in this case, get to make that shot first. Black is the French. They rolled a 2. English is a 5. So in this case, the English skirmishers are going to get off their shot first if they wanted to. But in this case, yeah, they get 3 shots also because they were stationary. They reconstituted. I'm only giving them 1 shot. But the short answer is these guys are going to get their shot first. There are only 3 of them. That entitles them to 1 die. So the first die is a 4, taken at long range. That's going to be at a regular troop, long range, 1/4. 1/4 of 4 is 1 potential casualty. They get a save. They are medium horse, saving at long range, versus medium horse at long range. 3, 4, 5, or 6 will allow them to save. Oh, and I only have 1 casualty, so I'm only rolling 1 die. Why am I doing this? So you need a 3, 4, 5, or 6. They got a 5, so they save. So that shot, the first shot from the English skirmishers, is a nothing burger. I'm going to go ahead and give those skirmishers their shot. That is at, I think that was at long range as well. Let's double check now. That was at, yeah, 13, so that's going to be 13 with the short bow. That is going to be long range. So long range is 1/4. 1/4 of that rounds down to 5. Lightfoot saving at long range versus a short bow. They need a 5 or a 6 to save. He gets a 6. So their shot was a nothing burger. And then I'm saying their cavalry got in the way, so they couldn't take any further shots. Now, on the other hand, the skirmishers back the other way were shooting at the cavalry. So let's handle this. So now we're looking at a shot with medium range with a short bow. Medium range with a short bow is half of that, so half of 6 ends up being 3 potential casualties against the medium horse. Medium horse at medium range, save with against short bow, save with 3, 4, 5, or 6. So 1s and 2s don't save. Save 2, lose 1. So 1 medium horse comes off the board. That is not going to be good. And then the final shot here is a 5 at short range. 5 times 0.75 is going to be 3 when you round it down. So 3 potential casualties against the medium horse, who are now saving at short range versus the short bow. Again, 3, 4, 5, or 6 will do it. And what did I say? That was 3. So again, 3. So 1s and 2s do not save. They got 2 1s. They only saved 1 of those, so they lose 2 more blocks. Now, did they lose enough casualties to come off the board? In this case, they lost 3 of their 18, which is 1/6. 1/6 is 15%. I don't think so. Let me take a look at the rule. The rule says any body of troops passing through missile fire losing 1/3 or more in route. So they did not lose 1/3 or more in route so far. These guys have taken their shot. Now, the last shots remaining on the board are these longbowmen, who remain stationary. I am going, and there's a lot of them, but I am only going to give them a single shot because 12 is half the longbow distance, bringing them into medium range. Almost all of those shots, I'm going to say, were long distance. I already rolled. They have 15. So a longbow at long range, it's regular troops, so that doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter that it's a longbow. All that matters is a quarter of 15. So 15 divided by 4, that's going to be 3 with a remainder of 3. I don't care about the remainder. I only care about the numbers. So that's only actually 3 hits that can potentially be saved. Now this time it is medium horse at long range, saving versus a longbow. Medium horse at long range, saving versus a longbow. Longbow, medium horse. Again, 1s and 2s do not save. Save 2, lose 1. So they lost another 1. That is not sufficient to take them down a third. So therefore they will manage to get into contact with these heavy horse who also were coming forward. So this will be potentially an impetus versus impetus. We'll figure that out in a minute, but that is all that's due for bowfire. Okay, so here we go. I did not point this out when I did the skirmishers, but there is something missing from the table that is very important, and that is lightfoot versus lightfoot. Looking at the other values, I decided that is 1 dice per 5 men. The multiplier is 1/2, and saving throw in a 5 or 6. Okay, so interesting circumstance here. There were only 2 skirmishers on the French side that are remaining. They get no dice. All right, so somehow the camera shut off. I will try to recreate everything that I just said. There was no entry on the table for lightfoot versus lightfoot, so I had to gin up something. Looking at the rest of the table, it looks like it should be 1 dice per 5 man, multiplier of 1/2, saving throw of 5 or 6. With the skirmishers, there was only 2 remaining on the French side, therefore they got no dice. The skirmishers on the English side got 2 dice. They made their roll, saving throw failed, and 1 block was removed from the French side. 1 block made his save and still remains. So that melee is ongoing. The heavy horse and the medium horse, when they collide, they do a straight throw against each. Impetus does not apply. Impetus seems to only apply in these rules versus where it's a matchup between horses and foot. So straight throw between each of the blocks that were in contact, with the heavy horse receiving a +1 to each of those rolls. I rolled 3 dice on both sides, and what ultimately happened was that the heavy horse defeated 3 of the medium horse. In some cases, the blocks, you have to keep track of where they are and fill, because the heavy horse can penetrate, but I think that's only applicable to foot. It is definitely not applicable to a medium horse versus heavy horse matchup. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rodney, didn't you do the morale check, you crazy SOB? Well, when you do a morale check, when I put this table together, there was no need for medium horse or heavy horse to make morale checks versus anybody. So they are able to collide and just do that. So 3 medium horse are lost on the French side. Okay, it's turn 5. Let's carry on with this battle. I have figured out kind of who is firing now, but I haven't figured out the firing order or anything like that. So these armored footmen continue to the rear. Let's handle this shot, these longbowmen versus these irregular bowmen, if they're in range. I think the shot actually might have been against these skirmishers here before they... Nope, it must have been over here. Let's see, nope, no shot there, no shot there. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm taking some shots here against these skirmishers before the rest of them consolidate down into melee. So the French side was consolidating together. The English side, there are no rules against firing into melee. I'm going to let them have 1 shot at long range. There are 3, 6, 7 times, that can't be right, 3, 6, no, 6 times 2, 12 of them. So that would be 2 dice. They roll 10. It is long range, so that's going to be a quarter of 10, so that's going to be 2.5, which rounds down to 2. The saving throw for the saving throw for Lightfoot versus Longbow. Come on, where's it at? Long shot from a Longbow against Lightfoot is a 5 or a 6. They take no casualties because they roll a 5 and a 6. I'm pretty good at rolling these saving throws, so that is that shot. These heavyfoot are not doing anything. These crossbowmen find out much to their chagrin that they are actually in range of these English longbowmen for one shot, and then I'm going to have them backpedal out of the way. I think that's the fairest thing to do in this circuit.